Hi. Hello. Thanks for coming to my talk. Yesterday, a couple of people told me that why is it 20, and maybe I will change the number to something else if I can not come up with 20 modules. And that's what's right. I changed that to 10. I just started writing my slides yesterday. I just did the rehearsal, and I needed 2 minutes for each module. One is not good enough, so I just changed that to 10. So let's start with the first module. So YAPC and Wi-Fi. It's like a sister and brother. It's like usually get along with each other very well, but sometimes it breaks and hates each other. Especially this being used by Wi-Fi is pretty stable, I think. And but the only annoyance with this system is that it's pretty complicated proxy pack, which actually doesn't work. So there's a module, Perl module, to handle the proxy.pack file using the JavaScript runtime to find the right proxy against the URL. It actually works. So even if your browser is broken, you can still use this, module to find the right proxy and set that to system preference of a browser over your Mac OS X. It basically uses the JavaScript runtime. It's a Spindermonkey binding over Perl to import the predefined pack functions like this. It's not my code. I installed all of these from the other guy, HTTP proxy autoconfig, and I just reused them. And I was trying to do the demo, but installing Spindermonkey in libjs with the header file on OS X, it's so hateful, and I just couldn't do it, so there's no demo. But instead, I can show you really cool stuff. Can you tell what it does? This is kind of evil stuff. I just wrote this morning in like 5 minutes, and it works pretty well. So it basically uses to mechanize. Oh my. Okay. Cool. The mechanize to access the portal page to log in, and then what are you doing? Yep. Cool. So I might upload the script to somewhere, but system administration will not be happy about that. So maybe I won't. Speaking of JavaScript, many of you were here for a pQuery talk by Inge yesterday, and I think pQuery and web scraper are a really good friend. I'm not sure Inge agrees to this, but they basically do the same thing in a different way. And most of the implementations are really similar, and some of them are actually shared. So I was pretty impressed by the actual DOM implementation of a pQuery. But there's one thing I don't like with this code, because all of the DOM API functions in camerified names, like get element by ID. It's like uppercase E and B and I to concatenate the phrases, just like Java or like a JavaScript. Usually, most people in Perl prefers to concatenate character in underscore instead of camerify the method names. So there's a module called capitalization.pm. So you can say no capitalization on this namespace. So you can call get element by ID, concatenated with underscore instead of camerified names, which is cool. But you actually install the old-load method to the package to redispatch the new method to the original one. So it will have a side effect as well. So speaking of P, because pQuery is one of the P cool stuff, I had, like 6 years ago, I was working for LiveDoor, which is a great sponsor of this conference for these 2 years. I've got a call from a sales guy, like he was saying, we are closing a deal to migrate PHP application of the customer to Perl, but they want to keep their PHP application, writing some data and handling all the sessions, and we need to add Perl stack in addition to the existing PHP application to provide more pages against the data. And I was like probably drunk, and I was thinking about, why not sharing the PHP session data from between PHP and Perl? I just got some investigation on the Google, and I found it. The PHP sessions are stored in the /temp/session ID. I think it's the default, which is pretty insecure, just like other PHP functions. So the format of the data serialization is like just some funky PHP's data stuff. It's like a JSON, but it's some unique encoding. So I want a module to read and write these data. So instantiate the PHP session object to read the session file and get and set the data stored in the session. It works pretty well. I actually never used that because I think the deal was not closed. So I'm pretty happy that we didn't need to do that. It's a scary idea, but I've got a lot of patches in the head. You know, the version number is like 0.26. This is probably one of the highest version number that I have in CPAN. I usually release the module and that's it. I don't care. But there's also two guys giving 5 stars to my module. I actually got a patch from yahoo-inc.com. So they actually probably used this module to do something funny from Perl with a PHP application. So speaking of many people, you said Ruby on Rails is or was hot stuff in this conference. And I'm not pretty interested in this framework as well, but Ruby on Rails is a really neat stuff called active support, which is extension to the language itself to be able to say something like this, like 60 days ago. It's a method extension to integer to get a datetime object or something like that. I don't know what's the object class for the Ruby, but and you can also say 200 megabytes to get the data size. I was thinking how we could do that in Perl and Autobox. Autobox is an extensible.
That's actually the skip bonus slide.
Oh, okay. Autobox datetime duration. I just want this extension module. So you can say 1 month plus 2 days to get 32 days or something like that, and 2 years from now to represent the datetime 2 years from now. It's more descriptive and it's more readable. So it's cool. And there's also Autobox numeric bytes and time. That's the same thing as active support does, and available on code repos. So you should take a look at it. It's pretty simple. And speaking of numbers, well, it's basically the same thing, but you might see some code like this. TTL equals 7 days. So it's a hard-coded number. Can you spot the problem with this code? This number is actually wrong. But you can't tell because you need to trust someone who wrote this code before. And if it's broken, you need to calculate again. So probably the better way to write this is to do this. But why not? You can just say 7 days in a string and then call the function for iteration to get back this integer. I mean, this is probably similar to the all the box stuff. But you can use this again in like config files because it's a string. So you can say like cache expires in like 24 hours or like 36 hours instead of integer. Usually config file doesn't allow a numeric expression. So this is the good stuff you can take. Writing a string, it's readable, and the actual code will take the integer. So it's cool stuff. And speaking of strings, let's talk a little bit about Unicode because people will like it. Do you understand Power Unicode?
I have to say yes.
Do you really understand Power Unicode? I guess not. Well, actually, it's really simple, but it's sometimes really hard to understand. Well, this is a pretty simple and interesting problem. You have a 2-scalar variable. $x is the Unicode string of my the Mia, the first kanji of my name, and the $y is a UTF-8 octets expression. And you want to concatenate $x and $y. What happens?
The wrong thing.
It's the wrong thing, yeah, because Perl doesn't know which encoding $y is in, so it automatically upgrades individual byte as a Latin one to UTF-8. And so you will get 4 characters long string in $Z instead of 2 characters long, which what you probably wanted to do. So Perl does the right thing, but this is not what you want, probably. So fix it. The correct way to fix it is easy. Is the encode module to decode the $y back to the string instead of the bytes or octets to concatenate with $x and get the correct string. That's easy. But there's more evil way to do that. Just don't deal with encoding at all. Just concatenate random stuff, UTF-8 flag or not, and get it broken. And my module, double encoded UTF-8, will do this kind of stuff to find the broken Perl and decode it back to the correct UTF-8. It's basically, that's the opposite of a Latin 1 to UTF-8 auto upgrade. It just finds the 2 characters or 3 characters long Latin 1 as in UTF-8, and then decode it back to Latin 1 and then back to UTF-8. So it does the right thing in most cases. It's pretty useful and evil. Don't use it. Speaking of UTF-8, if you use browsers like Safari or Firefox, it's just a Wikipedia main page. The URL looks really easy to read. Instead of this %E3, %83, it's just the URI escape encoding of UTF-8 bytes, which is cool. But as you can see, the keynote doesn't realize that the main page is part of the URL because it's not allowed in the URI spec. So if you do that in the Perl modules like URI font, you will do the same thing. You will get the same thing. Just in the down, you will get /wiki and not the main page. So I wrote the module URI font UTF-8. It's just a drop-in replacement to do the right thing. I mean, it's not the right thing, but it's to fix the broken thing. So the cool thing about it is that the callback function, you will get $URI and $original. The $URI, a URI object that has the right URL in percent, encoded URI, and $original contains this string with the raw UTF-8 text, which is useful sometimes. So speaking of Japanese, how to spell your names in Japanese possible? We have Japanese names, and there's a rule to spell a Japanese name in English. That's the Hepburn Romanization. And my name is Miyagawa Tetsuhiko. This is the only way to spell my name in English. But if there's someone like this, Kato Shuhei, there might be a different way to spell their names. Can you tell which is the correct based on the passport rule? It's number 3 and number 4. You can select from using H in the instead of U. So yeah, there's a web page. It's not actually a government page. It's some Tokyo City, some public page to describe the role, how to convert these things. And there's a lot of system modules that do the similar thing, but none of them do the passport stuff. So I wrote it to do the right thing. It's pretty small. It actually copied the JavaScript library to, ported the function to Perl. It's like one-line translation of JavaScript to Perl. So speaking of passport is a big identification system in many countries, especially in Japan. So how do you manage online ID and password? Use like browsers password management, or like SSH, you use the SSH agent or keychain if you're on an OS X. But if you write a script to access to a website, you will probably start writing a username and password hard-coded in the script, and maybe later, store these strings into YAML file and then like home directly and change mode so that no one else can read it. But if you use the or you're on OS X, just like many of you guys are, you can just use the keychain stuff from LWP user agent. I think I can do the demo. I hope it works. Yes, so keychain asks you to confirm this is authorized access to the keychain, and I will authorize it. I don't know, but I need to do this twice, but to get the access to the keychain. So what you need to do is, instead of writing a username and password in the Perl script, like open the web page with Safari or Firefox to, maybe it's Safari, to the username and password and save that to keychain, and then use that username and password from Perl. So it's more secure because it's protected by system. I did the demo. So finally, speaking the web stuff, let's talk about XML, because everybody likes to deal with XML. Can you tell what's wrong? Yes, Schwanz is the list of heroes. Yes, ampersand needs to be escaped. What's wrong? Hertz is allowed in HTML, but not in XML. Its named entity need to be declared in DTD and stuff like that. What's wrong? Yeah, that's the same. You need to escape. What's wrong? This is RSS data. Has an XHTML stuff. XHTML namespace needs to be declared in the head. So people are stupid. So people writing a software is stupid as well. So, but software is dumb unless you tell them to do the right thing. So you can tell what was wrong, Human can tell what's wrong. Why not? Software can do the same thing. So I made the module XML liberal. This uses XML libXML to parse the XML. And if there's an error, libXML tells you, hey, this is wrong. This byte is wrong. So this module applies a patch to the original XML document and parse again. So until the error is gone. It's pretty cool. And I think the name is confusing because people dealing with XML is really passionate about the well-formed-ness of XML. So I did a presentation in YAPC Europe like 2 years ago, and some guy came to me like, you don't understand what XML is, and if you want to parse the broken XML, you don't get the benefit of XML. So I was saying, shut up. It's like, who cares? It's if you want to write an application that consumes the stuff on the web, as I said, people are stupid. So let software can fix that. Well, so if you ever write a code to do with libXML, just replace the libXML to this. And the bonus, if the actual XML is valid, there is no performance penalty. It only does the patching the XML only if the XML is broken, which is good. So yeah, 10 modules done in 20 minutes. That's cool. So I have 120 other modules that I have talked about. So go to my page to look for something interesting. And if you have more than 10 modules, that's like you should give this talk. Thank you.